Richmond, Virginia.
Hello, West Coast. We're East Coast. Hi.
Doing an interview. Sorry, what? See, look, assholes don't want to be in it, but they want to fucking comment on everything. What prompted the move? Joe is forever getting wild hair up his ass, and him and Tim went down to Richmond one weekend because it was far enough that their parents and our parents couldn't show up and just unannounced, but it was still close enough that we could go back up there and take food whenever we wanted. But they went down to the downtown area and saw like Nuclear Assault was playing someplace and Faith No More was playing another place, and they're walking around at 2 o'clock and crazy metalheads are ripping trees out of the grounds and lighting them on fire, and pretty much I think Joe pretty much looked at Tim and said, if you want to keep this band together, we're moving. And then they came back up on like Sunday and everybody was like, so how was Richmond? And like, well, we're moving. You want to stay in this band, you got to go with us. When we first moved there, it was really, really small and really, really close-knit. Like there was only a few bands that had really come out of Richmond before we, and I don't want to make that sound weird, but before we moved there, that anybody knew about, like White Cross and Guar. And there wasn't a lot of bands that people knew about, but there was tons of bands going on, like Four Walls Falling, and bands that would move down there, Device, and Greta that's in Moby's band now. Like, I mean, there was all this crazy shit going on, and it was just a lot easier to be part of a scene, you know what I mean? And I think smaller towns and smaller places as opposed to like New York and Chicago and Austin, SF and LA. I think smaller towns, they're more pure about actually wanting to just play music. They don't care what it's called. They don't care. We didn't ever care what it's called, but nobody cares what it's called. Nobody cares if you like it. It's just like, hey, some dumbass is gonna book us in their basement 200 miles away. Let's go do that.
If this was Richmond, there would be blood.
Yeah, we're from the South. We like being from the South. Most of the band will listen to country music also. We don't really care if you like it. So the Southeast has always done, we've always stereotypically done really well. We've always had a lot of fun there. A lot of the Southeast really embraced us. And then when we went up into the Northeast, it was really funny because it makes no sense. There was rednecks in like New Jersey that were just like, fuck yeah, man, y'all are the best. And it's just like, what are you talking about? So I think as a whole, like the East Coast really accepted us. And then when we finally made our way out here, and I don't think people were really receptive to that for a long time. So the first couple of times we went over, it was pretty rough. But now it's actually a lot of fun. Like, I mean, if you think people in like, Albuquerque, New Mexico have no idea what we were doing 10 years, Europeans had absolutely no idea what the fuck we were doing, Like 15 years ago when you had full sleeves and you had big holes in your ears and you're just jumping around like an asshole and, your friend was just like, hey, look, he's tiny, and threw him out, I mean, people were like, what the fuck are you guys doing? So the first couple years it was kind of rough, people spitting at us and trying to take swipes at me on stage and blaming us for McDonald's because, we all own stock. How America was the big corporate bullshit, and we were just like, dude, we have nothing to do with that. We're playing in a squat in Bologna.
I would like to point out that
one of the worst shows ever. It was the first tour that Guamper came with us in Europe. First tour, and he was just like, this is fucking great, this is amazing, it's crazy, because they feed you at shows, like they're real hospitable. It was before the wall came down, so getting in was just miserable. And we go over there, and we go to like this, it was like a jean factory or something, but it was like a wholesale outlet, but then underneath it was like this really shit-ass little tiny, horrible club thing. It was just insane. And they pull up and they're like, okay, well first we'll go get we'll go get your food and everything. And we pull up and they have these little tiny bowls like this big filled with this weird gruel stuff. And Guam was just like, man, that was great. Wonder what's next. And we were all laughing because we're like, dude, that's it. We're fucked. Like, bubbling water with gas. You had to shake it up and get all the water out. It was fucking miserable. We had a great time, but it sucked. Yeah, there's always been favorite places to play. And every place is fun. There's certain little bullshit places that we play. Like, I loved playing at John Hiltz's Basement. The drummer for Born Against and Grey House and all those bands. Everybody would play in his basement. It was like Lifetime, Born Against, Avail, and like 3 other bands. It was like $3, and everybody hung out in his basement. Like, that was fucking awesome. I mean, we got snowed in there for 3 days, and we hung out with Universal Armageddon, and goofed on them, and they didn't understand what we were doing. And so say you play a venue that's 3,000 people and you get $10 a head, 50% of that's going around for dudes walking around and pushing buttons. It's just garbage. And then you got to deal with a barricade, and you got to fight with the promoter about, hey, I don't want this, and then you got to go back after you fought with the promoter, and then you have to fight with the actual venue about it. Okay, well, what about if kids get up on stage and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, if they have 3 times they're up on stage and we can recognize them, then we can throw them out, and it's like, there's just so much bullshit to deal with. But as opposed to like coming to the bottom of the hill and us going, hey, Rona, hey, Kathleen, how you guys doing? Good. All right, cool. Do you want us to set up now? Or okay, cool. All right, what time are we playing? We write on a little scrap of paper, we go, cool. We tell everybody we're done. It's easier that way.
What's in the play? What's in the play about? What's in the play? What's in the play about? Let it go, it's not so simple. What's in the play? What's in the play about? I'm gonna put another hero. What's in the play? What's in the play about?
Played Hellfest about 2 years ago, which was retarded. I mean, if you're worried about PowerPoints, it's fucking awesome. There's tons of bands, there's tons of cool shit to look at. Everybody's wearing pink and black, everybody's pretty. From that standpoint, it was awesome. I thought it was the biggest pile of shit we've ever played in my entire life. A, you can't drink in a place that's supposed to be playing punk music, fuck you. You can't smoke, fuck you. You put DRI, one of the punkest bands in the world, on the Hot Topic stage, fuck you. Yeah, what the fuck does it makes me angry. It's the only store in the world that makes me angry. And I got on stage with a cigarette and a fifth, and I said, fuck you guys for putting DRI on the Hot Topic stage, and we immediately got banned. There's a lot of people like super crazy punk rock guys, green mohawks, charged, that are worried about sound scan and points on the back end and all that stuff. And yeah, I think that's a lot of garbage, but I think for the most part, it's just the older you get, the more disassociated you get from the punk rock scene, because the punk rock scene is about kids. It really is. And when you're 36 years old, you're no longer a kid. You might act like an idiot, but you're not a kid.
Found any like new fans from really crazy locations like Zimbabwe or something that you've never been anywhere near or toured anywhere near, is can't figure out how the hell they possibly got your music?
Yeah, pretty much everywhere we go that we're not from. Yeah, anywhere so we go that people are like, dude, I love your band and check this out. And you're like, what are you doing, man? I mean, sure, if it's my friend that I've known my entire life that has an Avail tattoo, sure, that makes sense to me. I have a friend in Leeds, like we're really good friends, and on the front of one shin it says Avail, and then on the other shin it's the Big Dixie guy. I mean, we're great friends, but I was just like, what the fuck were you thinking, dude? I mean, sure, Minor Threat, DRI, Exploited, like a big punk band. Avail? Right. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, that was fun.
We've always said it, like when we decide that we don't want to play anymore or don't really like the music we're writing, we just won't do it anymore. So we don't have any plans to not do it anymore, but we don't have any plans really to do it anymore. Like, it's like, all right, well, you guys want to get together and play some music? Yeah, sure, and we play music, and there was a point where we did it strictly for fun, and then it kind of become businessy, and we kind of did it as a job for a bunch of years, and now we all kind of have lives outside of the band, so now it's more towards the fun. We're just it's basically an excuse to get really drunk every night for like 10 days.
We're Avail from Richmond, Virginia. This is our last song. Thank you so much. Let's fucking do this. Come on, please.
We don't really think that anything we've ever done was wrong. It might have sucked, but it wasn't wrong.
That's how I escape my certain fate.